everybody, it's Dawn here, and today I'm super excited because I'm going to share with you some new product that we have in the shop, Hidden Gem, and I'm also going to use some of it in my video on Imbolc, which I'm going to be filming straight after that. So kind of a 2-for-1. So let me reveal all. These are our new products. It's from a company called Holy Santo, and they source ethical and organic herbs for ritual. So we're really excited to have these in. You get 20 herbs in a box. So a really good starter kit if you are new to magical practice and you want to get going with some ritual and ceremony. So I'm going to go through each of the herbs in there, each 20 herbs, and talk a little bit about their properties and also how you can use them in ceremony or ritual or your spell work. Now, disclaimer, I'm not a herbalist, so this video is not about how to use them for healing. I'm not recommending ingesting them because I really don't know what's safe or what is not. I'm not qualified to do that, nor am I trained to do that. So this is all about magical practice. So without further ado, let us open the box. So as you can see, this is the outside of the box. So I'm just going to open that now and reveal all. So inside there you get all of these wonderful different herbs, and they are in nice packaging, and they're resealable, so you can snip off or pull off the top, use some and reseal it again. So I think that's a really good feature. And we have this adorable little herb spoon, which you can measure out the herbs that you want, and it's just so cute. So you can dedicate this for your magical use and practice. You also get a crystal in here, and so each one's different, and this one is a red jasper, which is lovely. And a little thank you to the customers, and ebook of herbs that you can download, which is pretty cool. And yeah, it's just a nice little added touch, that little ebook. So that's what you get in your box, and I am going to go through each one of them and quickly talk about the ways in which you can use them for ritual, ceremony and spell work. So come along with me now. So our first herb out the box is coltsfoot, and this is one of the first plants to emerge in spring, and now you're going to see this sprouting around February. So it's got an association with the spring festivals like Imbolc. You will see this featuring in my Imbolc Fair festival. That's coming up on February 1st, but of course Ostara in March and Bealtaine, which is May 1st. Maybe you could sprinkle some of this on your candles for those festivals to honor the sun, or maybe pop some into your Bealtaine fire. Now, it's a great herb for love spells, so with Valentine's Day coming up, perhaps a little love sachet is in order, and maybe pop a rose quartz crystal in as well to go with that. Now, coltsfoot is also good for money spells, so maybe add a citrine and a green aventurine to your money ritual. Now, coltsfoot is also known for peace and tranquility, so you might want to think about burning some on a charcoal disc to create a nice calm atmosphere in your home. It can also promote psychic visions as well, so don't be surprised if you gain some clarity or some insight when you burn it. So let's look at eucalyptus leaf. That's next in the box. This is really good for soothing nerves and anxiety, so you can use it in your intentional working for those purposes. Maybe a little healing poppet. Maybe add some amethyst and lepidolite to the spell as well, because they're wonderful stones for this purpose as well. Maybe think about adding some eucalyptus water to a purification room spray for spiritual cleansing. Boil the leaves in a pot or a cauldron, allow to cool, and then add it to a spray bottle. Now you could add some black tourmaline gem to that and make some gem water, or even pop a piece right into the spray bottle. And perhaps add some of the water to your ritual bath, or put some into a sachet to pop in. Next is white willow bark, a magical herb that can be used to enhance your psychic and spiritual communication. Now you can burn it on a charcoal disc. Now it has a strong feminine vibe and it's connected to the element of water. So if you need to release some pent up emotions that you haven't expressed, maybe you want to have a good cry, then you can add some of this to your bath. Now it corresponds with the moon, so really good to burn when you're performing some full moon rituals or magic. Juniper berries are next, and this has a long association with Samhain, and it can be burned in your ritual fires, a really good use of that. Now if you're creating health spells, adding some dried juniper berries is a good idea, because magically they are associated with the promotion of overall health. And if you want to add a little oomph to your sex life, use juniper, as it's associated with love, but also with passion. So next is alfalfa. I like saying that, alfalfa. Now that's associated with the earth, so it's really, really good for your root chakra. It's a good herb for that. It also brings prosperity. So if you're a little short of cash, maybe a money spell with some alfalfa. But it's really good as well against protection against poverty. So we can incorporate alfalfa into those types of spells as well. So next up are rose petals, another really good favourite for love spells, particularly if you want to attract new love. Now, don't forget the ethics of love spells and not being specific about a person, but more about the qualities that that person has that you want to attract into your life. And that's about free will. You might want a particular person and your love spell might be really powerful and you get them, but did they choose that? So really think about the ethics and just focus on the aspects of that person that you like. Now you can add them to your bath for relaxation and peace as well. St. John's wort, this is a midsummer herb, so it's good to use in your summer solstice rituals. You can also use it to ward off ghosts and spirits, so maybe a good Samhain one as well. Why not put some in a sachet and sleep with it under your pillow, and you will bring about some prophetic dreaming. And then we've got catnip. Well, apart from the allure that cats have to catnip, it's used for fertility spells. Perhaps pair it with a moonstone for conception, or maybe put it together with the rose petals and a rose quartz for a love spell or a sachet. And finally, it's associated with beauty. So if you want to create a spell for anti-aging, think of adding maybe a pinch or two of catnip will be useful. One of my favourites is Mugwort, and this is really good for communication to the spirit world because it clears channels of perception and ancestral memory. It's also good to include in a flower crown, so some of the fresh Mugwort. You can create your flower crowns for rituals, for spring ceremony, maybe even for a croning ceremony or a hand fasting even. It's also good to dry and use for space clearing as a sacred herb. And finally, it's good for dream work. So you can put some dried mugwort into a sachet and pop it under your pillow. Next, we've got blessed thistle. And this is good for psychic self-defense, so protection, and for warding spells. It's also good for joy and vitality spells. And love and abundance, so some other good love and abundance herbs that we've had, so you can pair them with those. Then we have Comfrey Leaf. It's a really good protection one, particularly if we're travelling, and it's also really good for luck. So maybe wrap your lottery ticket around a Comfrey Leaf before you put it on, or maybe even your money for the casino. And catnip and Comfrey leaf is really good for divination, so you can burn them together. Hyssop, well, this is really good for cleansing spells and for protection. You can also use this for consecrating your space or your ritual tools as well, so you can burn it or create a spray. Next up is raspberry leaf, a really good herb for love and patience in fertility rituals. Now, we're not necessarily talking about procreation of little babies, but ideas and goals. And it really helps us to be patient and enjoy the creative process as we're giving birth to new ideas. And then we have lavender, good all-round herb for ritual. Now, I use lavender in sacred smoke blends because it's a really good purification herb, and it has protective properties. But of course, it's also good for sleep and calming your mind. So you can add this to a ritual bath before you undertake any major spell work, or maybe pop it under your pillow. And then we have yarrow, really good for divination, particularly if you want to speak to a deceased loved one. Good for love spells, and often would be hung on the marriage bed for good luck. So you can include it in a bridal bouquet for a wedding, or some wedding favours, or a hand fasting. It's a really good one for that. And then we have sage, probably most well known for its cleansing and purification properties, but it can also be used in money spells and for mental clarity, to name a couple of other uses. Then we've got hibiscus flower. Well, it's often used in herbal teas for relaxation, but it's also known as aphrodisiac, so good for love spells too, or again in bridal bouquets or gifts for brides. Another thing about this is you can use it for naturally colouring wax if you make your own ritual candles. Peppermint. Well, apart from the digestive and the headache relieving qualities that peppermint possesses, and we probably all know it for, it's also used in magical practice for raising the vibration of a space, for clearing and for purification rituals, and it can attract money and prosperity. Then we have Pennyroyal. Now, this is a member of the mint family. Its magical uses include healing spells, protection, particularly of somebody who is traveling, and it's also good to unblock the throat chakra. And then finally we've got nettle leaf, and I'm really happy to see nettle in here, as this is another one of my favorites, particularly for protection, and I would often use it in a sacred herb bundle for space clearing and for protection of my space. Now, you can sprinkle nettle around your house and it will keep evil out and it will send it back. It can also be carried in a sachet or in a poppet to remove curses, or worn as an amulet to keep out negativity. You can even hold it in your hand to ward off ghosties. So there you have it. They're the 20 herbs, a quick rundown and some ideas of how to use them magically. As I say, really excited to have these in the shop, and the cost is $89.95 Canadian. So pop into Hidden Gem and have a little look at our new herb collection. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Do pop us a message if you have any questions. Enjoy your day, and ta-ta for now.